Every year is the same. Feel it again. I'm a loser, no chance to win. Of all the cult films produced over the last 50 years, Quadrophenia is undeniably the most popular amongst British youth. This is a film shot predominantly on location, which means we are left with these incredible pieces of Quadrophenia. The actors may well have moved on, but the locations are still there, at least the places are still there. And in celebration of that, we've decided to come down to Brighton to visit or revisit some of the most iconic locations in the film. And as you see on our travels, that many of them are still very much part of Quadrophenia, whether they like it or not, and still visited by hordes of people who come to pay homage to their favourite film. These locations live and breathe. They carry the residual energy of Quadrophenia to this day, 35 years on. And it was here that the mods arrived from London, coming on their scooters, pulling right into these columns and meeting up for the first time in Brighton.
Yeah, just get down there, come on.
What about this?
Yeah, loads of scooters.
This is great.
This is the Brighton Aquarium. During the 1960s, the building adjacent to the aquarium was a ballroom, of which many famous bands of the period, including The Who, would play. Mods would travel down from all over the south coast and London to see the band.
Get out, stay out.
Chalky and Dave were in need of somewhere to sleep, and obviously not having any money, bed and breakfast. They come underneath the pier, and back in 1978 when they made them, these were wooden doors which inside would be various mechanics for the pier, electrics. This one here was easy enough to get into if you pushed it, and that's where they went in, and they spent the night in there unbeknownst with a group of rockers.
Hi.
While the locations for Quadrophenia may have changed over the years, one thing that will always remain is the beach and the sea, and that forms a large part of the film. But many people identify with the themes of the sea in Quadrophenia, and obviously they captured some iconic shots of the beach in the morning. So it really is quite a special place as far as the film's concerned. And one of the most iconic chants in the movie, if not in cinema history, started from here. This is where the mods are walking along the promenade, and then the cameraman jumps out and they all start chanting, "We are the mods, we are the mods." This is where it really kicked off. When the mods spy the rockers at this cafe here, they race across from the prom, right across and into the cafe, where total mayhem occurs, where there's a huge fight, tables crashing, glasses smashing, one of the most brutal scenes of the film. And this spot here witnessed one of the most brutal confrontations between the mods and rockers during the riot scenes. And it was here that a group of mods converged on some rockers and they beat the hell out of them, hitting them all over the place, recreating an original scene that happened in the original mods in May 1964. And what they do is they beat this guy up and they actually throw two of them over the side, Quadrophenia's got many riot scenes, but possibly this was the most intense. This is East Street in Brighton. This huge crowd of mods came running down and they were effectively kettled in by the police. So the action's concentrated itself in this little street. Mecca, the Wailing Wall, all places of worship, but for mods, this is the central point. This is the Grand Central. This is the Citadel. This is the centre. This is Jimmy's Alley. For a film with over 40 locations, obviously there's many points which fans of the film of Quadrophenia want to visit to show their devotion. But none more so than Jimmy's Alley, and here we are at the centre of it, at the core of it. This tiny little street of East Street in Brighton has become the grand central meeting point for mods across the world. This has just been actually recently painted. This is painted all the time because people will show their devotion to the film writing on the wall all across the world. This is something that no mod gets. So someone's kindly left the door open for us. So here we are. This is the location for the final component of Jimmy's breakdown, when he comes back to Brighton to try and relive the residual energy left over by the riots. But also he spies the ace face, his scooter, and where all his other dreams have collapsed quite spectacularly, here is a chance to hook up with the most enigmatic character of the riots. And it was here that the ace face's Vespa was situated, which gave Jimmy that brief moment that something might save him from his despondency. But of course, within seconds, he'd spy coming out of the Grand Hotel, Brighton's most famous hotel, the real profession of the ace face, who was a bellboy at the hotel. So every tier of Jimmy's dreams collapse, and here is the final plank of that. Collapse is quite spectacular. It's undeniable that the legacy of Quadrophenia is best exemplified in the locations in Brighton. Part of Brighton has been preserved via Quadrophenia and also acts as a guidepost to those who are wanting to go down to engage in some of the magic that occurred when they filmed in 1978.
I mean, nothing seems right apart from Brighton.